Okay, is this, what is this? Is this the Chig rig?
It's the Chig rig.
It is, it's the Chig rig. What are you doing?
I don't want him to beat us to a spot. Hold on.
Just take the gas out.
You got a hose?
Yeah, we'll siphon the gas out.
It's disgusting. Well, it's worth it.
Okay, there you go.
Beat us.
Come on, really? Who does that? All right, hey everybody, Popcan Dan, man oh man, episode 3 in the books. We are on episode 4, and you know what? This is going to be the last one, episode 4, because I want to stop talking and I want to start digging, man. So the more I keep thinking about putting out these discussion videos, I'm not thinking about actually detecting when I should be thinking about getting out there and detecting instead. So this will be the episode 4, and this will be the last one for this year. Man, oh man, you know, I always do a review of episode 3 with comments and stuff like that. And I tell you, episode 3 was, wow, it was crazy, man. Some of the comments were awesome. I mean, sorry, all the comments, good, bad, whatever it was, awesome. Good feedback, very. Okay, so one of the very first comments I got in regards to my video, episode 3, was from the YouTuber called TMI. Not sure what it is, but listen, thank you so much for commenting. I really like what you said in this too. Enjoying your videos, going through them backwards. You seem to have so much fun out there. I tell you this, TMI, I guess that's what it is, TMI. You gotta have fun, man, making videos. And just detecting in general. If you are not having fun detecting, you probably shouldn't be doing it, man. All right? People shouldn't be running around with their knickers in a knot. Okay, mind you, I do get angry sometimes, and usually when it involves night hawking, planting, things like that, silly stuff that gets under my fingernails, man. But no, there's not enough. You know what? Life is too short to walk around with your knickers in a twist, man. Especially when it comes to detecting. Have fun. Oh my gosh, you can have so much fun detecting. People going around complaining, fighting with other people, man. I just don't got time for it. So TMI, when you're out detecting, do yourself a favor, man. Have fun out there. Have fun with it. You know what? So you don't find anything one day when you're out detecting. Who cares? You are out there doing what you love, man. And that's why I have so much fun with it, you know? Whether I find trash. And the funny thing is, I think I said it the last time. I said, I remember one of my best days ever detecting. I was detecting with Redbeard Relic Hunter and the Bradford Beeper, the three of us. We love to, when the three of us can get together, man, holy moly, you want to talk about having fun. And I remember saying at the end of the day, wow, that was one of my best days ever detecting. And then I realized I had nothing in my pouch. Nothing. I didn't find a thing. But I was out there doing what I loved with some good buddies, man. And we had so much fun. And I said, you know what? There's always the next time. I'll get something the next time. But just enjoy what you have out there, man, you know? And find some good friends to detect with. Makes a world of difference. Okay, the next comment came from BB Diggin. All right. I don't know. I've never seen this guy before. This YouTube username, but seems like a really cool cat, man. A really nice guy, and he made a great comment too. Really nice. He said, "I just watched all 3 of your episodes. I found them really informative and helpful. I'm getting back into the swing of things after many years." Well, you know what? The reason why I pulled this comment to talk about was that's awesome. And you know what? Getting back into the swing of it after years. I do understand this in a way because when I started back in 1994, this is how I went with my detecting. I was in love with detecting, and not so much. When in love with detecting, not so much. And I went through it in waves. It was up and down for many years. You know, sometimes there'd be a few months where I wouldn't go detecting, and I don't know. It was weird. It came and went in waves. But I'll tell you this, man. The last 8-9 years have just been solid, nonstop, crazy. So BB digging. I'm glad you're getting back into digging, my man. All right, enjoy it, have fun. That's the best part about it, man. Good stuff. Okay, so here's the piece I really wanted to talk about. These are the most comments came in were with regards to my the subject I was talking about the last time, and so here's where I started out. This is how I called it. I said it was hand digger versus shovel. Now that's where I'm going to stop it right there, because I'm going to change the way I was describing things. And the reason I want to change the way I'm describing things was a comment from one of my good buddies, Digging for Life, Mr. Jason Corbett. Jason immediately chimed in, and I could tell he was a little frustrated in his response. And I respect Jason a lot. And when he talks, I listen, because this guy's one of the best in the business. He really is. And he said right away, he said, folks, you need to stop using the word shovel. Cut it out. Stop it. He said, you need to use the word spade. All right? Not the word shovel, the word spade. He said the word shovel will get detecting shut down all over the place, man. You'll start to lose permissions to go to parks and public permissions. And he said, when you use the word shovel is like a cancer. He said, you do not use that word. He said, use the word spade or hand digger moving forward. And you know what? I took his advice immediately, and I said, yes, no problem, man. I totally understand that. Never thought about that, and I respect it. So that's what I am going to be doing. So here are some of the comments I got with regards to spade versus hand digger. All right, check this out. Perry Keitel. First of all, let me talk about Perry Keitel. He comments quite a few times on a lot of my videos, and he seems like a really nice cat. So I just wanted to give him a shout out right out of the gate. Perry, thank you for making comments on my videos, man. I appreciate it. You know, whether they're always good, but whether you give me constructive criticism, anything is good, man. I love any kind of feedback is good, and I appreciate you're always commenting, man. So, brother, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, and I hope you and your family are doing well and you're safe. All right. So what Perry said was, I use a spade in a park due to past surgery. So what he was describing was, I guess he had surgery on his shoulder, and he could no longer do the hand digger. So he does use it. He says, I do use a spade in the park. He said, but it's the only way I can dig. But you know what? He did go on the comment below, and he said, but making sure my holes are, you know, super clean when I'm done. You know, that's always the code of ethics, man. That's the big one at the end, you know. So whether you are using a spade or a shovel in a park is your prerogative. It's how you leave it at the end, you know. And so that's what Perry wanted to certainly let me know that. Next one was Mike Thompson. YouTuber Mike Thompson said, I only use a hand digger in parks and permissions with lawns. You know, and I know a lot of people are on that side of the fence as well. Actually, I want to skip down to Digging with Deej. Everybody knows Digging with Deej. She's a great girl, man. And funny thing is, I met her up here in Toronto. She's American. I can't remember where she's from. Pennsylvania. Forgive me, Deej, if I can't remember where you're from exactly, though. But she came up to Toronto to one of our digging events, and I got to meet her, and she's the nicest person ever met. So nice. Here's what she had to say with regards to this whole spade versus hand digger. She said, watch out for this one, Dan. I got blasted last year for giving my opinion on this. Well, I'll tell you this, Deej, right out of the gate. I'm not shy. I don't shy away from controversy. And these a lot of these subjects I'm talking about, I don't have an opinion on them per se. I just want to hear your opinions. So it's open forum for both sides. So I'm not worried about what if people are coming back angry. They just want to voice their opinions, stuff like that. And that's why I'm here. I'm a sounding board for people who do want to voice their opinions. But Deej, I do appreciate your looking out for me, and I love that a lot, and hopefully I will get to see you soon, man, when this pandemic's over. So the next one was my good buddy Darcy, Kept Valley Diggers. Kept Valley Diggers, man, this guy really finds good stuff. I'm telling you, in his videos, he's knocking it out of the park, and I don't think there's too many people that dig around where he lives. So he's got like open season all in his area where he lives. So what he said to me was this, and this is a good piece of advice from Darcy, Kept Valley Diggers. He said, you got to go deep with your plugs no matter what, whether you're using a spade or hand digger. You got to go deep with the plugs, he said, because if you do not, when the people come around cutting the lawns with the tractors in the parks, the industrial mowers are so powerful, they suck the plug right up, and then they keep going, and all you see is a hole left there. And then it's all about optics. The next person comes around and looks and sees all these holes that were dug and replaced, but because they were shallow plugs, the lawn tractor sucked up the plug, and it was gone, and it looked like somebody just didn't fill in their holes properly. So that's a great piece of advice from Kept Valley, my buddy Darcy. Keep your plugs deep. Keep them deep plugs, heavy plugs, to make sure they do not get sucked up by the tractor, the lawnmower. And also my buddy Mark CH had said, so raccoons can't lift them over and get in there as well. Very good advice. Thank you so much for that one, Darcy. Okay, and the last one I got was Diggin' Niagara. Diggin' Niagara. This is a nice dude, man. I've noticed his comments. He seems like just such a nice guy. So yeah, it says, I feel that a spade, even a Lesh or a Predator, like some of the top of the line spades out there, don't look good in a park regardless. He said, even though the results are better. So he understands Diggin' Niagara. You can, it's the honest truth. Yeah, a Lesh or a Predator spade will dig you a better plug, but and the end result is better. But it's all about the optics, and that's what Diggin' Niagara says. It's all about how you're perceived out there. When you're walking around with a spade in your hand, or you're walking around with a hand tool, hand digger. Usually the hand digger does look better because you can actually flip it around and walk with it behind your back, and nobody even sees it. But hey, you know what? That's why I threw it out there for you guys. I wanted all your opinions, and I got them. And you know what? Hopefully, at the end of the day, when all the dust settles here, we have a little bit better understanding of what we want to use when we go into a park. There you go. All right, you know how I like to feature somebody, and I have a few questions that I threw out to a bunch of people. And the funny thing was, I thought everybody had sent me stuff back, and it was just the other day, I get a message on Messenger. I get a text from my good buddy Dave Shaw. Now I'll talk to you about Dave Shaw in a second here, and he goes, here's the answers to the questions you wanted there, bud. And I'm like, oh, I thought like that was long in the past. Like I thought he said, I ain't doing it, and just moved on. But he sent me a bunch of great answers. Okay, so let me talk to you about Dave Shaw. Dave Shaw is a local detectorist up here, just outside of Toronto where I live, and a bunch of us are Redbeard, Bradford Beeper, Mark CH. There's a bunch of us around here. And Dave Shaw I think he's about 5 years in detecting. And you want to talk about the salt of the earth, a nice human being. Okay, that's the way I'm going to put it. A nice human being. I always say, surround yourself with good people when you're out detecting. This is one of those guys. Okay, Dave Shaw. Now, here's the other part about Dave Shaw. When I say he's the nicest human being out there, he's also one of the most dangerous human beings out there. He's like a black belt, 6th Dan or something like that. I'm not sure what he's. Anyways, he's a karate instructor. He has his own dojo. Yeah, this guy. So, anyways, I nicknamed him. I bestow upon you, Dave Shaw, the nickname Dangerous Dave Shaw. So he came up detecting with me at one of my permissions, and I got him on video. And he didn't know I was going to call him that until the video started. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Dangerous Dave Shaw. And I'm like, oh, it sounds so good. But anyways, one more quick thing about Dave Shaw. I'm going to pop up a picture, and that picture is going to go right here, right now. Look at that. You know what that is? That is Dave Shaw breaking a bunch of cement cinder blocks. Now, do you want to talk about, dangerous? I'm telling you, Dave is so dangerous. When he says jump, Chuck Norris says how high. There it is. All right, man. Awesome stuff. So, some of the questions I asked Dave. I said, hey, Dave, what's your favorite walk-up song? Everybody's got to have a walk-up song. Just like in the major leagues when you're walking up to bat, and that song is playing, that's your walk-up song. I've already said what mine is. We've had many people give me theirs. This is what I love. Dave is so Canadian too. He said, anything by the Tragically Hip. So he wants to listen to anything by the Tragically Hip when he's going out detecting. Folks, down in the States, if you're watching a video, I don't know if you know who the Tragically Hip are. They've more or less broken up now. Their singer passed away about 2 years ago, but look them up on YouTube or something. You want to talk about just a great Canadian band. When you're, they're in the same conversation as Rush and stuff like that. Just phenomenal, man. Just great. So why am I not surprised that he chose any song by them as his walk-up song when he's going detecting? Good stuff, man. Next thing I asked, I said, hey, Dave, what frustrates you in the hobby? And here's was his answer. These are great. People who are fakes in the hobby. Now, I usually say people who plant fines drive me nuts. People who are fake, and that makes sense. There's a lot of people out there who are fakes. I also want to take a step further. They're kind of like two-faced, things like that, backstabbers. There's a lot of it out there, man. Dave's not a fan of that stuff. People with too much of an opinion, because only their opinion counts. That's another thing Dave was saying. He's not a big fan of people whose their opinion is the only opinion, or a big ego. If you got a big inflated head, I'm the best out there. He's not a fan of that. And you know what? I can see that. I can see, because Dave is such a nice guy, I can see how he would steer clear of people like that. And the last thing he said, I didn't have my glasses on when I was reading this, and I thought it said Pop Can Dan. When I put my glasses on, it actually says Pop Tabs. What frustrates you, Dave, with the hobby? Pop Can Dan. I get it. I probably frustrate a lot of people. But hey, and the last thing I asked Dave, I said, Dave, what's your advice to new detectorists? And here's what Dave had to say. Dig everything. Take all your trash and leave no trace. And you know what? Dave comes from a camping background as well. Hunting, fishing, camping. He understands the code, the camping code. You leave no trace. And that's why he said, you leave it cleaner than how you found it. And then he said, watch Pop Can Dan videos on proper etiquette. I didn't tell him to say that. He just threw that in there for fun. But hey, that's it. Dave Shaw. Dangerous Dave Shaw. What a great guy. Okay, friends, so here's the deal, man. I don't want to get into any more subjects. I got to save something for next winter. But I think all in all, these 4 episodes were pretty good, very informative, a little controversial, lots of fun, good laughs, stuff like that. Tons of great comments, man, and I want to thank everybody for that. The last thing I want to touch on, as I want to close out this last video, today is it's Monday, February 15th, I think it is. Monday, February 15th, day after Valentine's Day. So Monday, February 15th, I just watched Digging with Maddie's show. And Digging with Maddie, it was a 2-hour special, and Maddie had on his father, Matthew. Matthew chose to do it, be the guest on for 2 hours, and he really put himself out there, and he talked openly and candidly about his cancer. And, I just felt compelled. That's why I came down after I watched it. I said, I'm going to come down. I'm going to do episode 4 tonight. And I wanted to, while this was still fresh in my mind, I wanted to talk about Matthew and, what he did tonight on that show, and the comments that were just flowing throughout the entire 2 hours was, praying for you. You're the strongest man I know. And it was really, really something. Very, very emotional, for sure, to say the least. Just to read all these comments and to know that the metal detecting community comes together in times, when somebody's hurting, when somebody's ill, when somebody needs money. I've seen them put together accounts, GoFundMe's and things like that. So anyways, Matthew sat for 2 hours and just laid it all out there. He even put out it was like a 15-minute video. It was like a vlog, a documentary he made of himself, a typical day of him going for chemo. And wow, here's a guy who he really is one of the strongest people I know, for sure, and he's been ill, not ill, I guess he's been battling cancer since 2006. 14 years, man, that's how strong somebody is. 14 years, and the old cliche when they say, not all heroes wear capes. Matthew Tomani, I'll tell you right now, he's a great guy. I've got to know him through DJ Redbeard. He's a very good friend of Redbeard's, and that's kind of how I got to know him. And I've had a lot of great conversations with him by messenger and private conversations. And, just watching tonight, I was just so inspired, and I hope everyone had a chance to see that show tonight. And just, I guess what I'm getting at through all this is, if you know Matthew, you should probably drop him a line. Many different ways you can do it. He's the Jersey Digger on YouTube. I know he's he's Matthew Tomani on Facebook. He's on Instagram as the Jersey Digger. He is on TikTok, I think, as the Jersey Digger. Do yourself a favor. Why don't you drop this guy a message? And it doesn't have to be public. It can be a private message. And just say to him, hey, you know what? I'm standing behind you. I'm proud of what you're doing. You've been battling this for a long time, and I just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you. All right. As my message to you, Matthew, everyone up here in Canada is thinking about you as well. I mean, you have Redbeard, you got the Bradford Beeper, you got anybody. I've said this in my video before. Whenever two people gather, whenever two detectorists gather together, your name usually comes up. That's how important you are, and you're always on people's minds. So we just want to let you know that up here in Canada, don't think because we're in another country, it's any different. We are thinking about you up here all the time. So that's kind of how I wanted to close out this video, the last video I wanted to do, just by saying, you keep fighting, you be strong. I think about you all the time. Yeah. So we're all thinking about you up here, man. Just keep pecking away, man. You've got a lot of fight in you. And I always say this, you're an Italian from New Jersey. It doesn't get much tougher than that. I don't mean that. I mean, there's nobody tougher than you. An Italian from New Jersey, man. That's right, buddy. You keep going. You keep kicking some ass, all right? There, I said it. I said it on my video, ass. Anyways, that's it, man. I'm going to round out this episode like that. All right?
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
What?
It's summertime.
Really?
Yeah.